Meaningful Use Stage 2, Menu Set 1, Syndromic Surveillance Data Submission. The requirements of Menu Set 1 is to measure successful ongoing submission of electronic syndromic surveillance data from your EHR to a public health agency for the reporting period. The objective of this is to ensure that the eligible provider has the capability within their electronic health record to report such syndromic surveillance data in accordance with applicable law and practice. Now, the results reported for attestation are not numerical, so there are no numerators or denominators with Menu Set 1. There is instead an attestation to the affirmative or taking an exclusion. And for both, there are various scenarios. So there are 4 scenarios that allow for you to attest yes. One of those would be if there is already an electronic interface in production and it remains during the reporting period. For example, in Stage 1, 2011 edition of Meaningful Use, this was a menu set, meaning it was optional. If you opted at that time to do the syndromic surveillance data submission and you are currently already in production, then you will attest yes under Stage 2 automatically. These next 3 scenarios are very similar in that it requires that the provider has already registered with the public health agency. They are just not fully in production yet. For instance, if you have registered at least 60 days before your reporting period and the PHA has said that you will be able to achieve it by the end of your reporting period, you can go ahead and attest yes. Secondly, if you registered with the PHA and you are actually already in the testing and validation phase, even though you're not in production yet, you can attest yes. And then finally, if you have registered and you're just waiting for the registry to invite you in to start testing. So in all 4 of those scenarios, you can attest yes to Menu Set 1. Now there are 4 possible scenarios for exclusions as well. First of all would be if you are in a category, meaning your specialty, that does not have to collect ambulatory syndromic surveillance data, then you can exempt yourself. Number 2, if you operate your practice in a jurisdiction where there is currently no public health agency capable of accepting this data electronically based upon current standards. Or similarly, if you are in a jurisdiction geographically where your public health agency is not able to receive the data timely, meaning within the reporting period. Or finally, you are in a jurisdiction where there is no public health agency that is signing on or enrolling new doctors. Then in one of those 4 scenarios applies, you're able to exempt yourself from Menu Set 1. There is some setup required in prognosis meaningful use settings, both on the provider level and on the clinic level. I'm going to go ahead and log into prognosis, and we're going to go over that setup briefly, just so that you can see the settings I'm speaking of. The actual definition of your meaningful use settings is a separate video, but in the context here of the measure, I would like you to make the visual connection. So under my configuration menu, I am opening up MU Settings Master. And we're going to simply go ahead and choose Dr. Koothrappali, who is Stage 2. And if we scroll down here towards the bottom, you will notice on the Provider tab, there is an option for eligible provider does not collect reportable syndromic information for their patients. If you qualify to exclude yourself from one of those 4, because you do not do syndromic data collection, you want to make sure you choose this so that you get appropriate credit on your meaningful use dashboard. There's also clinic level. Now this is where you would indicate when you're attesting yes, why you're able to attest yes. Is it because you are registered within 60 days of the start of your period and are going to achieve it? Are you in the testing phase? Are you waiting to be invited to test but have already registered? Or are you actually already in production? The last option here I want to cover is the ongoing submission is not done. If you do not currently have an interface, but you want to submit it, then you can contact technical support and ask them to get you registered based upon your public health agency. And here is a current listing to our knowledge by state as to whether there is a registry available, the far left two columns. We are not clear on these few in the middle because we have not had any clients in that state contact us. Or on the right-hand side, two columns, there is no current registries available. So based upon your state, if you are in such a position that you would like to submit this as one of your menu set measures, then please contact us and have us get the process started for you.